Welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm David, and this is going to be your midweek mashup. Before I begin, I'd like to please remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you can catch all the latest videos that we post. This week's mashup is going to be mainly covering the St. Louis Blues. Their first playoff game happened last night, Wednesday night, to be exact, against the Vancouver Canucks. Now, there's a lot to take in from this game, and the Blues ended up losing 5-2. However, I don't think it's quite time to hit the panic bus yet, as the St. Louis fans will say. Compared to their 3 round-robin games they played earlier on, the team looked more like itself in this hockey game last night. David Perron once again got himself a power play goal, and his streak continues with those goals. Jaden Schwartz put on a burst of speed in the first, I believe it was, to get himself a breakaway and put a nice move on Vancouver's goaltender to get a second goal for the Blues. However, for scoring, that was about it. The Blues, like I said, looked more like themselves. They were doing a better job forechecking. There was a lot of pressure, and they're spending a lot of time in the offensive zone. They threw a lot of shots on that, too. They outshot Vancouver 31-22. Where they got themselves into trouble, though, is the power play, or in this case, penalty kill. The Blues, again, had 5 penalties called against them. 3 of them, I believe, were tripping and 2 were slashing. They have to stay out of the penalty box, especially against a team like Vancouver, who has one of the best power plays in the league, which they showed during the game. The skill set of Vancouver is extremely for Vancouver is extremely good, and they're extremely fast on the ice compared to the Blues' slow speed. In this case, the Blues, for the most part during the game, did a good job funneling everything outside and didn't allow any plays to come up through the middle of the ice. Where they got themselves in trouble was early in the third period, where Jordan Bennington and the defense both seemed to have a little bit of a lapse of concentration. Bennington ended up letting one go right through his armpit to give Vancouver the lead, and then not even a minute or two later, the defense got stuck in the zone again chasing, and ended up giving up a mini breakaway to Vancouver, again because of their speed, which Bennington bid on a move that they made and gave up the 4th goal. The 5th goal was off a power play at the end of the game, where the Blues were just chasing the puck, trying to make a comeback within the last minute and a half of the game. It was over anyway. So I count that more as a junk goal, but at the same time, there's a lot of positive to take from this, as the Blues looked like they returned to form. There was a little bit in the third period where they looked like they were tired. However, it wasn't as apparent as it was during the 3 round-robin games. And then the other thing you can take away from this is, unlike the round-robin games where you play a game, take 3 or 4 days off, play another game, now that we're in the first round of the playoffs, their next game is going to be Friday night against Vancouver. And luckily it's an earlier time this time, at 5 p.m. Central Time, as this last game was 9:30 Central Time, kind of a late game. So we'll see if the Blues can get back on track and actually get a win off Vancouver, as well as maintain their game now that they're getting into a constant routine of game day off. And I believe later in this series they play back-to-back games, and the constant playing, I think, will really help this team gain their footing. So, like I said, not quite time to hit the panic bus. However, I think if they lose their next one, you can start to really worry that the Blues might get knocked out in the first round as they're trying to defend their Stanley Cup. Anyway, that's all I have for this week's mashup. I know there's a lot of other sporting news, but I'm just covering the Blues based off their hockey game. Again, please remember to subscribe to Under the Arch Sports, not only our YouTube channel, but our Facebook page, as we're continually updating with any St. Louis sport as well as Mizzou football.